ஹாய் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ், எல்லோரும் எப்படி இருக்கீங்க? குட் மார்னிங். ஸோ இந்த வீடியோ வந்து அகெயின் ஒரு சூப்பர் இன்ஃபர்மேட்டிவான வீடியோவாக இருக்க போதுங்க. எஸ், நாங்கள் வந்து துபாய்க்கு வந்து குவீன் எலிசபெத் டூ ஷிப் ஹோட்டலுக்கு வந்து ஸ்டேகேஷன் வந்திருக்கோம். ஸோ இன்றைக்கி வந்து எங்களோட செகண்ட் டே. நாங்கள் வந்து இன்றைக்கி செக் அவுட் ஆகணும். பட் இந்த வீடியோ வந்து ஃபுல்லாகவே பார்த்திங்கன்னா ரொம்ப இன்ஃபர்மேட்டிவாக இருக்க போகுது. பிகாஸ் நான் வந்து இந்த ரிசப்ஷன் டெஸ்க் கிட்ட வந்து பார்த்திங்கன்னா டூர் கைட் வந்து ஹெரிட்டேஜ் டூர் கைட் வந்து எடுத்திருக்கேங்க. ஸோ அது வந்து இப்போ பர்சன் வந்து இங்கே நம்ம இன் ஹவுஸாக வந்து ஸ்டே பண்ணியிருந்தோம் அப்படின்னா 50 dirhams வந்து சார்ஜ் பண்ணுறாங்க. ஸோ கம்ப்ளீட்டாக வந்து இந்த குவீன் எலிசபெத் ஷிப்பை பற்றி தான் இன்ஃபர்மேஷன்ஸ் கம்ப்ளீட்டாக கொடுக்க போகிறாங்க. இது ரொம்ப இம்பார்ட்டண்ட்டான ஒரு வீடியோவாக இருக்க போதுங்க. பிகாஸ் நிறைய பேருக்கு வந்து இதை பற்றின இன்ஃபர்மேஷன்ஸ் வந்து அவேர்னஸ் வந்து தெரிஞ்சிருக்காது. என்ன ஏது இப்படி இங்கே ஒரு ஸ்டேகேஷன் இருக்கிறதே நிறைய பேருக்கு வந்து கண்டிப்பாக தெரிஞ்சிருக்காது. ஸோ இதை பற்றின கம்ப்ளீட் இன்ஃபர்மேஷன்ஸ் தான் இந்த ப்ளாகில் இருக்க போகுது. ஸோ வீடியோ ரொம்ப இன்ஃபர்மேட்டிவாக இருக்க போதுங்க. ஸோ வீடியோவை ஸ்கிப்பே பண்ணாமல் லாஸ்ட் வரைக்கும் பாருங்கள். வாங்க வீடியோக்குள்ளே போயிடலாம். ஹோட்டலுக்குள்ளே நீங்கள் என்ட்ரு ஆனோடனே பார்த்தீங்கன்னா இதுதான் கம்ப்ளீட்டாக ரிசப்ஷன் டெஸ்க் ஏரியாங்க. ஸோ இங்கே வந்து சூப்பரான ஒரு லைப்ரரி இருக்குது. இட்ஸ் ஃபார் பப்ளிக். யார் வேணாலும் இங்கே வந்து தே கேன் ரீட் த புக்ஸ். ஸோ அதுதான் மெயின் எங்களோட மேஜர் அட்ராக்ஷன். இவ்வளோ என்ட்ரு ஆகும்போதே பார்த்தீங்கன்னா உங்களுக்கு சூப்பரான லைப்ரரி வச்சுருக்காங்க. ஸோ ஆல் கைண்ட் ஆஃப் ஃபிக்ஷன், நான் ஃபிக்ஷன் புக்ஸ், இந்த மாதிரி எக்கச்சக்கமான விஷயங்கள் வந்து இங்கே இருக்குது. நீங்கள் யாராவது இந்த புக் லவர்ஸாக இருந்தீங்கன்னா டெஃபினெட்லி இந்த லைப்ரரி வந்து நீங்கள் எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் பண்ணாங்க. அது மட்டும் இல்லாமல் அங்கங்கே வந்து ஷிப் ரிலேட்டடான திங்ஸ் எல்லாம் வந்து வச்சுருக்காங்க. உங்களுக்கு பார்த்தாவே தெரிஞ்சிருக்கும். ஸோ இங்கெல்லாம் வந்து பெனி சொவனியர் வந்து வச்சுருக்காங்க. ஸோ அதே மாதிரி இங்கே வந்து பார்த்திங்கன்னா ஷிப் ரிலேட்டடான ஒரு விண்டேஜ் திங்ஸ் வந்து வச்சுருக்காங்க. இது வந்து ஷிப்போட கம்ப்ளீட் வந்து ஒரு மாடல் மாதிரி வச்சுருக்காங்க. ஸோ கம்ப்ளீட்டாக வந்து எல்லாமே வந்து பார்த்திங்கன்னா விச் இஸ் ரிலேட்டட் டு ஷிப்பாக தாங்க இருக்கும். ஸோ இப்போ நம்ம வந்து ப்ராப்பரான ஒரு ஹெரிட்டேஜ் டூர் கைடு எடுத்திருக்கோம். ஸோ விச் மீன்ஸ் குவீன் எலிசபெத் ஷிப்போட கம்ப்ளீட் இன்ஃபர்மேஷன்ஸும் சொல்ல போகிறாங்க. ஸோ என்னால் முடிஞ்ச வரைக்கும் வந்து ஐ வில் கவர் என்ன இன்ஃபர்மேஷன்ஸ் கேட்டுட்டு நான் வந்து கண்டிப்பாக வந்து போஸ்ட் பண்ணுறதுக்கு வந்து எல்லா இன்ஃபர்மேஷன்ஸையும் ட்ரை பண்ணுறேங்க. அங்கே இல்லை, நீங்கள் வந்து வெளியிலேருந்து வந்து இங்கே ஹெரிட்டேஜ் டூர் எடுக்கணுன்னா 80 dirhams வந்து சார்ஜ் பண்ணுறாங்க. ஸோ அது மட்டும் நீங்கள் வந்து செக் பண்ணிக்கோங்க. ஸோ சூப்பராக இருக்கும்னு நினைக்கிறேன். எனக்கும் ஒரு டிஃப்ரெண்ட்டான எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ். இது வரைக்கும் இந்த மாதிரி ஹெரிட்டேஜ் டூர் கைட்லாம் நான் வந்து எடுத்ததில்லை. ஸோ இதுதான் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் டைம். ஸோ நம்ம போய் எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் பண்ணிடலாமா? இந்த மாடலில் வந்து பார்த்திங்கன்னா கம்ப்ளீட்டாக வந்து இந்த போட்டில் வந்து இந்த ஷிப்பில் வந்து என்னென்னலாம் வந்து இருக்குன்னு கொடுத்துருக்காங்க. என்ன
I'll be your history and heritage guide today. Now, when most people hear about the QE2, they tend to ask, what is the QE2? When was it built? Who was it built for? Was it owned by the late British monarch, or can we sail on the QE2 today? Well, we're going to find out all about this and so much more. But the QE2 is a retired British ocean liner that was built for the Cunard line, and its history begins right here in the lobby. And everything that you see here on display was used when the ship was in active service. So the furniture that you've seen just behind us, that came from the largest ballroom at sea, and that was the Queen's room.
which one?
The ones that you see just behind the small bell over there.
Small one?
You see like the grey ones?
Okay.
This came from the largest library at sea, and it was a collection of over 6,000 books, and most of them were over 20 years old. The beautiful paintings and artwork that you've seen on the walls, all those will hang on the walls of the QE2. So you may have seen two objects here on display, and the first one is the Queen Elizabeth II bell, and this was used on board on 2 different occasions. So number one used to be the New Year's Eve, to ring out the old year and to ring in the new year. Then second purpose is on board for baptisms. The bell would have been inverted, the clapper taken out, and the bell was filled with water. Then the water was used to baptize babies on board. So it's a known fact that on 2 occasions, 2 baby girls were baptized and given the name Elizabeth. And then next to me, we have the cup that seems to look like the Champions League cup, but well, it isn't. This is known as the Laconia Cup, and this was awarded to the Laconia ship in 1922 by American Express, commemorating the first world cruise ever done by any ship in the world. Without further ado, please follow me as we make our way on board. Donated to us by the Dubai International Airport in 2018 when the ship opened as a floating hotel. So that's why it looks like the one on the Dubai Airport.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, Dubai Airport.
They give us this bridge.
Oh, okay, fine.
So when the ship opened as a hotel here. in
Okay,
Dubai.
okay.
So it's very similar like to when you're boarding the aircraft. It looks very similar, this bridge.
Okay.
And you know her magnificence. So what you notice at first is that she's truly massive. Because
Yes.
from the very tip of the bow all the way down to the aft, it's 294 meters.
The total
The length,
length of the ship is 200?
294 meters.
Okay.
Then the bottom of the keel all the way to the top of the funnel, that's 52 meters.
52 meters.
Yeah. And then the width is 32 meters.
With.
The width like
Okay.
from this side to the other side, that's 32
Oh, okay,
meters.
2 meters. Okay.
And it has 13 decks,
13 decks.
13 floors. I would say.
Oh, 13 plus. Totally how many rooms?
So the hotel has 447 rooms today.
447.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
13 decks.
So currently we only have up to deck 5. That's where you see all the gangways. And then deck 6, 7, and 8, those are below the water.
6, 7, 8 is below the water.
Below the water, yeah. That's where we have the swimming pool and the gym on deck 7.
Huh.
It's under the water.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Continue.
What is the occupancy run?
Cunard is the company that owns this ship. So it's
Okay.
a cruise line.
Okay.
It's
The
a shipping
company.
company.
Oh, shipping company. For this ship or for generally like many ships?
For many ships today.
Oh.
Service in 1969, 2 tickets will go on sale. So we had first class and tourist class.
Okay.
Oh, the midship lobby only reserved for first class passengers, but even tourist class it was all the way down at the stern and down on deck 5. So the ship underwent 16 major refits, and the first one was in 1972, where the color of these seats was changed and the wooden paneling was added. But what we can confidently say has remained original since 1969 is this center pillar and the disc. So for the first time at sea, we had a new material introduced known as fiberglass or reinforced plastic. This is actually the first mirror. So here you'll see the gentleman, as you asked Cunard. So this was the gentleman who founded the line. His name was Samuel Cunard, and he was born in Nova Scotia in Canada. So growing up, he was following into the footsteps of his father, who was the harbour master for Nova Scotia. And together they increased investments in the family business. So growing up as a young entrepreneur man, he was encouraged by the growing railway network that was taking place in England at the time. And he decided to explore the creation of a transatlantic fleet of these big ocean liners that would be crossing the Atlantic. So he would later travel to the United Kingdom. That's when the Cunard line began. So you'll see the first ship of the line, and this was the Britannia ship, and a very small ship, only 207 feet long. And the Britannia could actually fit in our Grand Lounge today. So it had a maximum capacity of 115 passengers and 82 crew members. The biggest ship in the world and the most technologically advanced vessel ever built at the time. Being the most technologically advanced vessel meant that it had the most speed. In 1907, on its maiden return voyage, it captured the eastbound Blue Band, and that was the fastest time to cross the Atlantic. Then 2 years down the line, in 1909, it captured the westbound Blue Band, that's from the UK to the US. And this ship will hold both records for 20 years at an average speed of 24.5 knots. The Queen Elizabeth launched in 1938 and said to be the most luxurious in her class. So shortly after the launch of these two ships, the Second World War will break out, and the British government reached out to Cunard and had both queens requisitioned, and these were used during the war. It was Winston Churchill, then British Prime Minister, who thanked Cunard because this ship played a very vital role during the war. And that's because the Queen Mary could carry up to 16,000 British troops, and the Queen Elizabeth could carry 15,000 British troops. So as soon as the war was over, the two queens were converted back to their passenger service, and they will dominate the Atlantic until the late 60s. So construction of the QE2 began in 1964, as you'll see just over here.
Okay.
And that took 3 years. So this ship was constructed in 3 years.
Oh,
This ship.
Yeah, the QE, this is this ship now.
Okay, okay.
So that is the old Queen Elizabeth, and
Okay.
this is
New,
currently old, yeah.
okay.
So from 1964 until 1967. So total cost of 29.6 million pounds. That's at the time. So in today's money, that's around 380 million pounds. So still like a lot of money.
Okay.
So yeah, that was in Clydebank, Scotland. So the ship was built in the John Brown shipyard. That's located in Scotland.
right.
It doesn't exist anymore. The shipyard underwent the most expensive refit in 1986, and that was done by the Lloyd Company in Bremerhaven, Germany. So total cost of 80 million pounds. So that's when the ship was converted from steam turbine to diesel electric, and so it will be consuming a very kind of thick diesel. So the panels that you see just below me were used to monitor the fuel tank levels, and the ship will be consuming 18 tons of diesel every hour.
Every hour.
Every hour, yeah. So around 350 tons on a daily basis. Then the bottom left was for the freshwater tanks and the ballast tanks. Then the opposite side was for the sewage tanks. Now this still serves as our safety control room, but for today we only rely on the computerized system, so everything else has been decommissioned.
Okay.
So you may probably be asking yourselves, what do our colleagues do down here? Now, the QE2 is still floating on water, and occasionally we do come up and down within a range of 1 to 1.5 meters. So sometimes we get very strong winds coming from the seaside and sometimes from the city side. So to ensure the ship stays stable, our colleagues can monitor the weather patterns from here, and that is monitored 24 hours a day. Now, if you happen to be staying in the hotel with us, you'll be informed upon check-in that all our rooms are strictly non-smoking,
Yes.
because that poses a dangerous fire hazard to the whole ship.
Okay.
So just in case someone smokes inside their room, our colleagues can monitor that from here, and a fine of 500 dirhams is applied to your room.
Oh, okay.
So you can smoke like in your room. Even if your room has balcony, smoking is strictly prohibited.
Okay. So inside room also it's prohibited.
All the rooms here.
Okay.
So
Not
if you
inside
smoke-
the ship.
Yeah, so we have a dedicated area that's on the boat deck where you can smoke from.
Ha, yes, yes, outside.
Yes, welcome to the chat room. And this is what used to serve as a first class bar. So associated with the who's who of the time. Selects of the Hermans, Hermits, the Beatles, Elton John, and even the Queen herself. So on the boardwalk you'll see what the QE2 was purpose built for, and that was to cross the Atlantic in top speed and utmost luxury. On this chart you'll see two different routes. On the upper part we have a more direct route, and that was known as the Great Circle. It was the shortest route from Europe to North America. And just below that we have a more southern route, and that is after the captains had realized how brutal the Atlantic would be. And that's after the greatest tragedy at sea. That's the sinking of the Titanic in 1912. And today on this chart you can actually see where the Titanic sank.
Okay.
If you're able to see where my green laser light is, just below the Grand Banks of Newfoundland,
Okay.
there's a white star, 2926,
Yes.
and that is where the Titanic sank. It's in 1912, more than 100 years ago. Just there. Numbers, that's the depth of the ocean, and that was recorded in meters.
Oh, okay.
So where you see the white star, like that's where the Titanic sank.
Okay.
3,000 meters. That's like very, very deep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
This was just when the ship was in active service. But for these bastons, only the leather was reupholstered. This is when the ship came to Dubai.
this alarm changed.
Only this leather was changed, but the furniture is original.
Oh.
Yeah. But for this one's all original. Continue this one. Welcome to the Queen's Room.
This is Queen's room?
The Queen's Room, yes.
Oh.
So this will have served as the first class ballroom. So not where the Queen will have stayed. So the Queen actually, she never stayed on board the ship.
Okay.
So this was only named the Queen's Room because it was only used by the first class passengers.
Okay.
So in the
Any
morning,
reason why Queen Elizabeth, even though the owner was a Canadian?
so the owner was from Canada, but he moved to the UK.
Right.
Yeah,
So
like in the old
became
times.
a UK
He
national.
became British, yeah.
Right. So this is currently used as an event room?
Yes, so normally we have hosted like a lot of weddings, birthdays, anniversaries, corporate events. We even had a conference by the British Embassy in Dubai. So for now we don't have any events today. So
Right.
yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Only used for private events. Meetings here, only for meetings.
Very nice. Very.
Tourist class library,
Mm-hmm.
then was converted into a profitable casino in December 1970.
Mm-hmm.
So the biggest win ever happened in 1975, where one lady walked away with $12,500. So a lot of money for 1975,
Yeah.
and even for today it still is a lot of money. But then the machines are only for display
Mm.
because gambling is strictly prohibited here in the UAE. It's against Islamic laws to gamble.
Okay.
But machines are still in perfect working condition. If the laws ever change and they allow gambling here in Dubai, we just need to plug in our motors and hey,
Totally how many elevators when the ship started?
23.
Now?
Only one is original from 1969.
Okay.
So all these are like renovated.
Okay. So which is original?
The one that will take you to deck 7,
Okay.
where your family is, to the swimming pool.
Ha, yes.
That's the-
Yes.
the
Oh,
original.
that's the original. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All these are from very modern.
Okay.
All the major events that happened to the ship throughout its 39 years of seagoing. Just starting from the launch in 1967 in Clydebank, Scotland, going all the way till 2018, when the ship opened as a floating hotel here in Dubai. Many people tend to ask, how did the QE2 end up in the UAE? The vessel was bought by Dubai World from the Cunard Line in 2008, price tag of $100 million. And initially plans to buy the ship on Palm Jumeirah, but due to the financial crisis of 2008, there was a delay of 10 years. And so the ship opened as a hotel in 2018 here in Port Rashid. So these are the ones which have the balconies. So currently serves as the highest category of rooms in the hotel. So this will go for around 800 dirhams per night today. Yeah. Was it this way? To the
First class, right?
Yeah, all these were first class.
Okay.
Please mind your step. Just please mind your step.
Oh wow. Staff
That's right. That's it. I'll join you on the other side. And talking of VIPs, the likes of Margaret Thatcher, George W. Bush, Nelson Mandela. So all the furniture that you see, this is all original. So this was used when the ship was in active service. And all the files as well. So only this glass was added when the ship came to Dubai. And we changed the carpet as well.
Oh my god.
So starting off here, you'd find the sonar, and that was used to detect objects below the water by the means of sound waves. And then next to that we have the radar, a vital component of safety at sea. So the radar would have been used to detect objects much further than the human eye could see. So looking out for objects like other ships, oil rigs, lighthouses, and icebergs. You join me this way. And here we have the bow thruster controls. The bow thruster is a tunnel located at the bow of the ship with a propeller that will run from side to side. This will allow the captain to maneuver the ship at low speeds when getting in or getting out of the ship. So the QE2 came with 2 of them, and each could produce 1,000 horsepower. Join me this way. The navigational charts and the safety officer on the extreme left, just next to the other set of navigational charts. So the captain will only come to the bridge during the critical times of the ship, like when we are leaving the port, entering the port, or passing through strict channels like the Panama Canal or the Suez Canal, or if there was rough weather outside. So the captain was more like a celebrity on board, if you will. You can have a look on this. They do actually work, and it's the original. It's a bit sunny, but it shades up. Hands, and could fit on the palm of your hands.
Can you tell this again? What?
So this is the steering wheel of the ship.
Okay.
Yeah, so like if we need to dock the ship, the captain will have to be out of the bridge just to see how much clearance we had.
Okay.
Yeah. So this was the steering wheel, the bow thrusters, then that's for the speed.
Okay. So it's the smaller
What is the
steering.
depth here?
Yeah.
What is the depth here?
So this is not like very deep compared to when you go towards Bajal Arab. It's like only 20 meters.
20 meter.
Yeah. The ship has a draft of 10 meters.
Right.
20 meters depth.
Yeah. So you can have a look over the edge. Pause it in here.
Then
Oh, suitcase. We use this kind of suitcase, no?
Yeah, these are very old school, yeah.
Yes, yes. Oh,
So this was the cheapest cabin. So we had this one and first class.
okay.
But still was a lot of money to be able to afford this.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So this doesn't have any view.
Yeah, so this was, just as I mentioned, this was an inside cabin. So like if you had this one, then
Okay.
stand at the port and hail for a yellow taxi. No, your luxurious car is coming with you on board. And it's cars like Bentleys, Aston Martins, Jaguars, Range Rovers, and definitely a Rolls Royce. So this presents one of the two original revolving car lifts. We have this one located here at the bow of the ship, and the second one all the way down at the stern. So there was a capacity of 60 cars down on deck 8. So this reserved only for the first class elite.
Okay. Oh, this elevator.
Yeah, so it can still go down to
Oh, okay, okay.
deck 8 here. So privilege and honor to have people with us. And this is where we come to the end of our tour.
கம்ப்ளீட் குவீன் எலிசபெத்தோட இந்த ஷிப்போட கம்ப்ளீட் இன்ஃபர்மேஷனும் நீங்கள் வந்து பார்த்துருப்பீங்க. ரொம்ப இன்ஃபர்மேட்டிவாக இருந்திருக்கும்னு நினைக்கிறேங்க. ஐ ஹோப் உங்கள் எல்லாருக்கும் இந்த வீடியோ ரொம்ப பிடிச்சிருக்கும்னு நினைக்கிறேன். இந்த வீடியோ உங்களுக்கு பிடிச்சா எங்கள் வீடியோவை லைக் பண்ணுங்கள், ஷேர் பண்ணுங்கள், கமெண்ட் பண்ணுங்கள், சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணுங்கள், கூடவே இருக்க பெல் ஐக்கானை மறக்காமல் கிளிக் பண்ணுங்கள். அப்போ தான் நாங்கள் போடுற வீடியோஸ் உங்களுக்கு நோட்டிஃபிகேஷனில் வரும். நெக்ஸ்ட் ஒரு இன்ட்ரெஸ்டிங்கான வீடியோவோட நான் வந்து உங்களை மீட் பண்ணுறேன். அதற்கு டாடா பை பை, ஸ்டே ஹோம் அண்ட் ஸ்டே சேஃப்.